Hello everyone, welcome back to an episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. As always, this is Martin. We're in the Nether today, starting off. Just got the hunting magma creams, or magma slimes, whatever they're called. Last week we had an encounter with a pigman in the overworld and we killed him. Didn't cause any hostility towards these guys here, so I guess the point is proven right. It's about line of sight on the kill. Huge lag jump there. There's quite a lot of glowstone around here. I haven't actually seen this before, so I think we'll grab that after killing this guy. If we die from this is going to be horrendous. If we die, go away, get out of here. I just want to kill you. These guys are almost impossible to get. Come on. Time's a wasting. Hurry up and die. Alright, okay, so that's quite an apt introduction, seeing as today our objective is slimes. Not the magma slime, just the regular kind. However, in order to get a slime farm working, I found an area using a program which searches your world for slime chunks. I found one of those, and I found a area very close to the desert outpost, which is a 2x2 chunk area where slimes can spawn. So it's 4 chunks in a square next to each other, all will spawn slimes, so that's brilliant. So we're going to be making use of that place, but first we're going to need a considerable amount of TNT to clear that place, seeing as I intend to make the most of such a make the most efficiency out of that small area. So we're going to need some TNT to blow that place up to create a 2x2 chunk column, quarry even. So we're going to go do that. We're going to go finish the mob tower today, the item tower. But first I wanted to show you this. This is the access passageway between the nether, between the mining outpost and the desert base. At the moment there's no cover on it, and I'm yet to think of a theme. If you guys can think of anything, that would be most appreciated. Come on, where are you? Bam. Oh boy, that didn't go to plan. That did not go to plan. Where am I going? This way, is it? Yes. So yes, if anyone could think of any themes I should do for this place. I don't want to do sort of glass, because that's a bit predictable, isn't it? I like something creative. I'd like to get grass in here actually. That would be quite a cool idea, to have grass running along and maybe some flowers, or I'm not sure if trees grow. If they do, it's certainly an option. But this path, I've bored it passageway all the way, so instead of jumping out there and running across the surface and dodging ghast fireballs, we can instead run down here, and this just cuts through a series of the pillars which support the Nether's fortress. I'm not sure what this is. This is like a oh, hello, don't want to be going down there. Okay, so I guess it looks like a roof of, must be a pathway over the top there. More of it. Yes, any themes, any ideas, much appreciated. And it's not a far walk, and it'd be even quicker by minecart. It's just a straight line all the way that way, approximately 250 blocks, and then maybe another 50 or so this way, maybe 25, and then we've got our portal. We can put that in there, ditch that, and through we go. Right, and it is daytime. Or was that dusk? It might be dusk. Now we can collect the items we put into our ender chest and get them back into the storage containers over at this end. that one, that one. Now we have plenty and plenty of emeralds now. Just from all that villager trading, we got us a bunch. But we're going to need a lot more than that, and plenty of this good stuff. So I'm going to take that, because this one's almost gone. And we're going to need some shears. So shears, where are the shears? I'm not seeing any shears, which is not good. Not going to need those. Probably not going to need that. That can go away, that can go away. Shan't need all the beef. All those. But we will need wool, we will need obsidian, and we will need this. So we're going to start finishing out these. Now, I'm glad I made 10 double chests full of these things, because otherwise we'd be running out very shortly. No obsidian left. Right, okay, so that's next up on the list. That's going to go back in there actually, because we need to go find some obsidian. I have an obsidian mine going, which I shall show you very shortly. So let's head down there now. Okay, so this is the obsidian mine. This layer, all this trench you see before you was up to this level, all lava. So I've been water boring it and using the pro tools which we have to mine it away. And yeah, that's how deep we've gone. And I've created a secondary section over here. I've got a spider here, haven't we? Hello, guy. Burn. Now where did he spawn? Because there aren't... He must spawn down there actually. This is much darker than I'd like it to be. That might just be the void fog. There's patches which I don't remember. Torch up, close that. Right, okay, that's probably me just being paranoid. Anywho, we have a obsidian mine just going down here. So we just place the bucket of water in the middle, or wherever the middle is. Right there. That spreads out to the peripheries. We mine this block out. Becomes obsidian. Block was saved. And now we just proceed to mine this all out layer by layer. And then once we finish this portion, we'll just move into another area and completely deface that. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with this, and I'll see you in a bit. So another advantage of mining obsidian like this is that at the bottom of lava pools you often find the odd resources, and hopefully there's no lava underneath this. Lucky me. Now, I know I want to be collecting obsidian, but for the moment I don't want any of this coming near us. There we go. Oh, there's some more under there. That's a solid block, so we can remove that because we know there's nothing on any side of that. Water bucket there. And there we have it. Alright, so that was the obsidian mining pit which I just showed you earlier, and I've extended it all the way along there. So that's a lot of obsidian I've just taken out. Thank you very much for the efficiency pickaxe. It would have taken so much longer had I not used it. So anyway, as we can see here, plenty of obsidian now, and another login error. Our skin's not attached properly. Alright, anyway, so I'm going to go off to the build site, and we're going to get that thing finished, or at least in the most part finished. Alright, so I'm just over at the sheep farm gathering some more material which we need for the mob tower, and one thing I've noticed with the recent 1.3 update is that sheep seem to be eating less often. If we go up here, get out of the way sheep, coming through. Quick, 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 quick. There we go. So if we come up here, the grass is much greener than it usually is. Usually it's about 50-50 dirt to grass. And now it's, I'd say, about a quarter. Well, yeah, 1 to 4. So it looks like, and obviously the sheep aren't growing their wool back as fast as they used to. So I guess that must be a change in AI behaviour, because this is taking quite a while to get our blue wool. Alright, so here we are up on top of the beast. This is, I think, the 8th layer. 12, 11, 10, 9. Yes, 8th layer. As you can see down here, there's a series of more or less completed ones. Actually, I hadn't noticed that uncompleted section down there. So let's jump down and finish that off. A lot of this structure, as I've probably already mentioned before, relies on a lot of obsidian, so hence the copious amounts of the stuff we have. And that goes there, there, there. I'll probably do the redstone wiring of this place in a separate video, because that's going to be, that's sort of its own project in its own right, really, getting all this working all together. But there'll be a second comb of these, I suppose, like a second shell of that stuff, of this half slabs. Have I got the right ones? Yes, I do. So, oh dear, have I got that right? No, I didn't. Think, Martin, think. There, 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 and there. Right, so the redstone torches will go, I think, in this series of this conduit up here. The redstone torches will alternate on a block to block up here, so one will be off, one will be on, and so on and so forth. And then there'll be this space here, which is where I'll be able to make the transition up or down blocks depending on the level at which the torch is, because the torches alternate in pairs, so even numbers, but each layer is 5, which is odd number, of course. So need to work out how to get that all fitted together. But unfortunately this is very repetitive, and so it's probably not going to make it the most riveting stuff. But it is, as in essence, Minecraft, just building what you need to achieve another goal. And that's pretty much, well, that does pretty much actually sum up the game. You build one item, one facility or structure, be it what it is, in order to achieve something else. So this is being built to obtain TNT, which I'll use to clear out the hub, which is a optional build, but the TNT will also be used to clear out the region for the slime farm, which is a necessary build. in my opinion. Something I thought I'd mention about the slime farm: I'm not one for using mods or hacks or anything like that, like X-ray or anything like that. But where it comes to slime farms, I find there's one particular program where you enter your seed of your world, and it will tell you where the slime chunks are. Now, I've used that a fair few times and it's always served well, so I'll be using it again here, even though it's probably not the fairest way of finding it. A 4x2 chunk region of slime farm is something I'd never turn down. That's a huge bonus for the map. And what else? I've blanked. Oh dear. Well, let me think. Where was I going with that train of thought? You know what, I've completely blanked, and that's not good. But that's just me, isn't it? Always losing the punchline. That's what I was going to say, the slimes. There we go, back on track now. So, the reason I was going to... I need such a... well, not so much need. I'd like an extensive slime farm because I want to be able to make lots of piston-based mechanisms, and the most current need for that would be for making the village. I've intended on making it over... where was it? I saw it a second ago. Maybe I need to be higher up. There was a snow biome. If that's there, coastline's there, it's over here. The snow biome I intend to build the snow biome where I've built the XP farm is just a short ways over there. Off the coast of that, there's a nice clear patch which is out of range of being swept for the checking area for this thing, so it's a good area to build in. And basically the idea is to build it out at sea with like a port or an exit, or some method of me getting in and out without the villagers escaping. It'll be raised off the sea floor, so it'll be almost like a Venetian metropolis, if you could call it that. And I intend to have pistons operating a lighting mechanism which I'll be able to switch on and off during day and night, which I've had a look at, and I've done a test of the single individual units in work, at work rather, and they work quite well. So I'm going to be doing that. But in the meantime, this needs to be done, and another task after building this is actually to sweep the areas below where we are now and make sure there's no caves unlit. Now, lighting up the cave systems is obviously a huge part of making sure this thing is efficient, but I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to attempt to block up every single cave system. Probably not the huge ones or the giant open caverns, but little passageways. I'm going to block up each and every single one of them. We'll make it less likely. Well, obviously if it's a solid block, it doesn't even have to check there in the first place. So that's a bonus. That is obviously a huge task, so I'm going to be gathering stone for that. Fortunately though, we have plenty of cobblestone and plenty of coal to cook as well. And I'm surprised I haven't been visited by a creeper here yet. Although that'd just be tempting. That's just tempting, isn't it? Just asking for it. Nope, jumped, failed. This is a weird thing I've noticed. It's been bugging me for a while now. If I'm looking up at the sky here, and I press E to inventory, the sky changes. It's like when you invert the colour palette on an image, it changes the lighting on the page. It's quite odd. Tried looking into it and I can't work out why it's doing that. Look at that, just one tap and it's broken. My next aim with the XP farm in terms of enchanting is to get a silk touch pickaxe, definitely, because that would be so cool to be able to gather up diamond, emerald, redstone and coal, oh, and I suppose and lapis, and be able to sort of keep them in their solid block forms. I can have them almost like as a presentation for like storage rooms. I know I've said I don't want to do that in the mining facility, but I probably will do that at the hub, at the central hub storage site, because I'll need to have one storage site there just for everything I have, because that is where I intend to make my sort of permanent base, even though the desert outpost is serving as shelter for the moment. Okay, right, so as you can probably tell, this is a very long and tedious and repetitive task, and I don't seem to be very good at keeping my train of thought, so I'm going to break off here for a bit. I'm going to carry on with this. I think I'll just repeat all this process up to the top here, and then we'll go through some of the other aspects of this place. Alright, so I've just finished building layer 12 up there. That's as hard as the thing's going to go. So I'm going to start working downwards from there, but I came down here to gather up some more materials from the chest in the rooms below, and it sounds like we've got some unwelcome guests. And I saw a creeper, which is never good. He's here, he's down on this level where I am now. There he is. Hello, guy. Oh, that's actually quite nifty. This is probably the most sketchiest mode of fighting I have ever seen. Go on, burn. Are we clear? We're clear. Run. Okay, so I think creeper's still down there. Right, time to finish this. Ta-da! Okay, alright. Where did they come in from? Oh, no way, they can't have. They must have spawned on these pads here during the night, because they're not lit up enough. Which also means that they could be mobs on any of these levels. Quick sweep through. Okay, we're good. Okay, yes, so I'll carry on with the building. Okay, so we're on the bottom of the mob tower at the moment, and I've more or less finished all the levels up to the top there. And I went down here to get some more of the materials, and in the process of that I sort of went caving to see how much lighting we're going to need to do in the rooms below, in the cave systems below. And it's not looking good. It's a mess down here. There's dozens and dozens of passageways. I went exploring a very small section and recovered that much material just from the surfaces of the cave system. So that sort of shows you how much stuff there's exposed, because there's so much open space down there. So I've had a long think about this, and I think what I'm going to do, we're going to relocate this and do what I mentioned a couple of episodes back about putting it in the sky for maximum efficiency, because this is never going to work down here. Lighting all this down here is going to take weeks, and it's just such a huge task. There's no way I'm going to get as much of the cave lit up. I mean, to be able to get this running at more than, I think it's more than 50% efficiency, you need to have, I think, 80% of the cave systems lit up in a 250 by 250 square around the site. So that's never going to happen. And there's tons and tons of lava down here, loads of materials exposed. But so it's a good mining site, but it's no good for creating this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all of that in the chest, and we're going to tear down this entire thing, and we're going to relocate it. And we're going to do that by creating a layer, an above sea platform. So basically just extend this little platform I've got here outwards a bit, so it will catch all the material as it comes down. So hopefully we'll be able to recover about 90% of the material from this. And then we're going to relocate, and I think what I'm going to do is move it further outwards. So there's the snow biome on the periphery on my right there. The coastline where we came from is over there. The village I intend to build somewhere over there. So we're going to move this thing over that way and then put it up in the sky. And we're going to need, well, but by putting it up in the sky, as I mentioned a couple of episodes back, it eliminates the need for clearing the cave systems, because if you start at level 125 plus 65, basically, so 125 levels above sea level, if you start there and then work upwards, you should immediately get 100% efficiency. So I'm going to go do that. I'm not sure why I didn't consider that from the beginning, but I guess I didn't realise that this would be such a nightmare down here. Right, so I'm going to begin the demolition, and I'll resume when I found a good site to restart the build. Okay, here we are. So this is all that remains of the mob tower now. It's been completely removed. All of the materials needed to go into these chests here. So far it's all the light wool we need, but we will need more later on. That's all the obsidian we need. And for the casing, about a chest and a bit more of half slabs and some odd bits and ends, so ladders, lamps and some stone, and then our scaffolding, which we used for the tray to catch all the material, the debris. So this is basically your average recipe to make a mob tower, if you want to do it sort of the way I've gone at it. So anyway, yes, this is in the centre of the where the mob tower used to be. This is just underneath of the bottom level ring. So the hole went down somewhere around there, and you may be able to see it. Incidentally, you're also able to hear the dog next door. It's barking away. So I apologise if that's making it into this. It's his debut. So right now the plan is I'm going to go, the coastline is off that way, which is where we came from. I also removed the old scaffold for the original start point for where I wanted to build this. Oh, the squid are descending. So yes, I'm going to go over in that direction. So about 1,800 blocks that way is the extreme hills biome, so I think we're going to go about halfway into the middle of the ocean. It's a good distance away, and it will leave this area ready for use with the village which I intend to build, because I don't want to have the skyline sort of spoiled by that. So I'm going to grab in the boat and head off that way. Alright, so this looks like quite a good build site. We're just beyond the mini jungle island biome which we passed in an earlier episode, and over there about another 1200 blocks is the mining outpost. I've done a quick boat trip out in each of the directions, and we are 150 from any landmass. The closest landmass is the jungle over there, and apart from that we've got ocean on all sides. So if we now go up to level whatever it is, 125 above sea level, we will immediately have 100% efficiency here. So I'm going to start bringing over the materials and get everything set up here, and I'm going to commence the build. Alright, so I've been working on the mob tower now for about 10 hours or so. Took about 6 hours to demolish the obsidian from the other one, and then another several hours to rebuild it here. As you can see, we've got all our chests. That's empty. That's almost empty. And that's full of jumble. And it's full of jumble because we have almost finished construction. I promise you it's not all of it. Alright, so yeah, I've been working on this for a fair while now, and almost done. This is our access up now. Originally it was just a ladder, but I've removed that now. So we have a water causeway up and a drop down, as you can see. That's the drop zone, this is the centre zone. And it is a monster. It's not as tall as the previous version, partly in fact because reaching the top of the level of the map, and also because it's so high above the sea level, and due to its efficiency it doesn't need to have that extra height. So it's, I think, about 9 layers, maybe 10 layers, and it's got this little lower platform for the item retrieval. There's some odd bits missing down there which I'll fill in later on, and it could look a bit better from the outside. But up here we jump out, and this is it. These I think look quite cool. This is sort of a it has a purpose. It's obviously the power lines for the lights inside there. Really, or realistically, only one of those is necessary, but I decided to make 4 to make it look like tethers. So as if that's floating, this is like a tethered platform, which looks quite cool. Facility activation: by flipping the lever, when that light's on, the system is active, which means all the lights in there go off. We've got an obsidian base here, just a 2x2 in case there's an explosion. We have something to, or at least the mobs will still land there, so we have still something to rebuild off should there be an accident. I was going to record a lot of this build, but I looked back at the footage and it's a bit repetitive, boring, you know, basically what we were expecting. So the lights are on at the moment, so we're perfectly safe in here. And there's a few more layers up there which need some more attention. We need to add water to all of the above. So it's 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 layers which still need watering. And yes, I've capped off the roof, but essentially the top is just layered in half slabs, so no mobs can spawn up there, and it's well lit as well. This is the 2-tiered casing. Oh, the login's not working again, is it? Nope. Okay. So it's got 2-tiered casing. This is the primary casing, which just hugs the inside of all the innards here. But there's a conduit there which follows a redstone torch going off and on all the way up there. That is encased by another layer. So all that remains is that we do the redstone, not the redstone, the waterways in here. So for that we have where's that water gone? So basically all we need to do is that, create an infinite spring, and then jump on over to each of the corners. And why is that? Keeps unfilling itself for some reason. There we go. Okay. So each of these needs to be filled with water, and that's the same with all the other layers. And apart from that, I think we're almost done. I'm not sure what the light level is on these blocks down here, but I hope it's high enough so that we can work in here without mobs spawning. We may have a slight problem there though. Oops, oh dear. That's not good. See, something's happening. It's double clicking for some reason. Anyway, I shall continue with that, and I'll be right back once I've done. Okay, so the water's all in place, it's all capped up, all the ladders are removed. It is now ready to fire. Bit skeptical and very nervous about this. Just gonna, where should we put the ender chest? Let's place it here at the back. That's a new ender chest, so we can ship all our stuff back quite quickly. So here goes. I'm going to flip this and I'm going to quickly turn around to show you these all switching. Okay, so the lights should have just switched off in there, and it should be spawning heaven in there right now. Come on, please work. There we go, and it's working. And the distance seems to be fine as well. Ta-da! Our first piece of TNT from this thing. I was expecting it to be a bit faster. Okay. Excellent. Oh, there we go, all at once. Okay, good. So, basically, we just sit here for a while. So this is the next difficult bit. If I place water, so, I mean, obviously I've designed this area already and got it built, but I designed it with some series of points in mind already. If I stand here and for some reason a creeper doesn't die, like there, if he had survived, and for example those skeletons are even taking a shot, it would blow up and make a whole mess of this place, especially if I was AFK. But as a result of that, it means some of these items, the loot, lands near the middle, and it means I have to be on a constant move to pick them up. Not very good, but they survive. Loot will survive on the floor for 5 minutes, so I just need to not be gone longer than 5 minutes. The other option to consider would be to place water sources to wash all the loot to a certain point. Now that's not going to work, because any amount of water, no matter how little, will actually prevent the mobs dying. At least it will at the distance they're currently falling at. I think to be able to make it so they drop and die while landing in water, I think you've got to make it something like about 20 or 28 or 30 blocks. Otherwise the fall isn't enough. So for now this will have to do. He's bugging me, he's really quite slow. Perhaps? No. Let's try it. Something in here, isn't that? Yep. If we go up, maybe it's because, I don't know, the mob spawning seems to be very sluggish. Right, so I'm standing at the base of the redstone setup, and then one layer above me you can hear the mobs in. So now if we go back down, that should have triggered mob spawning in multiple layers, which would otherwise be from down here more or less inactive. So I should boost productivity very slightly and temporarily. Oh yeah. Right, okay, so I'm going to be sitting here for a while now and gathering up materials, but I think we're pretty much done on this project now. I'm just going to sit here and gather some more material. Well, this is crazy, but it might just work. I'm inside the tube, and I took out the sandstone which was covering this floor for decorative use, just so that we'd have that extra block of distance in case it doesn't kill a creeper first off. And as you can see, I'm taking a pelting from arrows, but in the most part I think this can work. We're on 55 gunpowder at the moment. Yeah. I don't know. I'll stick it out here for a while and see how it goes with the resource collecting. But anyway, we're getting on for about 40 minutes now, so I'm going to cut the episode here. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.